What's going on? Hey, I am hearing that it's really starting to cook in Tempe, Arizona, Tempe, where I spend most of my time when I'm out there. Um, California, not so bad though. So I'm enjoying the weather out here. Elite 11 just started up. So real quick, I want to show some love. Fetty's out there. Tate Reynolds. We got some familiar faces and some people that we got to start getting to know. Oscar Rios, like a bunch of these guys that I've been covering throughout the camp circuit and the 7th circuit and the Elite 11 circuit. So there is that. Also, I have had the unique opportunity of getting out back to Arizona pretty much every Thursday night, and I've caught the end of all the Sun Devil Sevens. Super exciting seeing some of the guys out there. Obviously, like the coaches, but also getting to see my guys, the Bourget brothers, and some of the players that are participating and helping to running in the Bourgets. They always run everything that is 7-on-7 in the Valley, including for a time my own flight club event. So I got to show them some love. But yeah, man, something's going on, and there's something that I do want to break down a little bit. I couldn't be more excited. Listen, I try to support all the things going on, football, Arizona, sports, high school sports, Arizona stuff as much as I can, even with my transition out here to California. But I really got to show some love. I'm super excited. This whole golden ticket madness that has really started a wave. A bunch of people are asking me about it. Chili, what did you know about it? Who was getting it? I had heard some things early on, and I just wasn't sure. But there was a lot of buzz. There's a lot of buzz about it, and so I do want to dive into that a little bit. I do got my guy Ho Rubino. He's going to jump on a little bit later from Devil's Digest. He's going to talk about some of this, and he wrote up an article talking to most of the kids that received one. And listen, if from what I understand, if you received one, that just meant that, like, you know, you were of the highest priority. That does not mean that you won't get an opportunity to get evaluated. That staff is constantly evaluating guys. Like, they're looking for people to compete. This is my belief, and I can find this out probably a little bit later on. It is my belief that they're looking to see which one of these kids in the Valley is going to build a chip on their shoulder and decide, like, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to see this guy that got the golden ticket. I'm going to put the clamps on, or I'm going to catch 10 passes, or get 10 sacks or whatever, and prove that I am worthy of being recruited by ASU. That's my belief. But, you know, I know that they're always looking for the best players possible wherever they are. State of Arizona, outside the state of Arizona, because that's how they build the program. So, you know what? I am super excited. We're just going to get right into this because I know time is precious for everybody. So, my first guest is going to be Big 12 champion Coach Kenny Dillingham. So, sit tight, hang out with your boy, and let's get this party started. CKD, Coach Dillingham, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Man, I'm ecstatic. Listen, it's no secret. ASU graduate myself. Godfather's Frank Kush, and congratulations, Frank Kush Award. Just seeing anything positive with the program is a blessing, and the way that you clean this thing up, like Mickey and Fantasia, has absolutely been remarkable to watch. How do you feel now, a year later, through the whole process of this cleanup?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like our culture is established in terms of, the standard of how to work. I just think our guys love the process. They love being in the building, and they love the work that goes in to what it takes to be a successful program. So I really love where we're at, just from a culture standpoint. We lost 0 of our top 66 guys in the portal. I think that says more than anything I could say in terms of, do guys like it here? Do they feel like they're being developed? So I feel like we're in a good spot, and the challenge is keeping it that way and only bringing guys into the program that we feel like can elevate us and keep that culture going in the right direction.
Hey, 2 things that stand out to me in what you just said, 2 words: process and challenge. If you come off as a person to me that loves process, that loves climbing ladders, that loves figuring out what the next step is. Now, it seems like you've really been able to translate that to the kids in the program. How have you been able to do so so quickly?
Yeah, I think like I'm very direct. Like I hate he said, she said. I go to the source on things. So like when we're talking about the process of being great, it's like I'm gonna go tell you you need to gain 15 pounds if you want to play defensive end here. You need to do this if you want to make the NFL. Like there's not gonna be keep doing a good job. You're doing great. It's going to be what's you said it, the process. It's going to be very direct and to the point of how you can improve your game. And it may not be comfortable and it may not be what you want to hear, but you know what? When me and a player leave a conversation, we at least both know where we all stand. And you can get behind people, in my opinion, that have transparent conversations. It's not all roses and candy canes. So I think that process is being honest and not telling people what they want to hear, just being honest with how you feel. And guess what? You're going to get over it. Like, I hope I'm not a bad guy. So if we ever have conflict, like, okay, next, cool. We fought it out. We're good. Move on.
Hey, the other word that stood out was challenges. Listen, what you were just saying, be comfortable having the uncomfortable conversation. You did that with the superstar, Cam Scatterby, that we all thought and knew was going to be great last year. We didn't know it was going to be 1,700 yards and best back in the country. But you were comfortable having an uncomfortable conversation in a day and age of which sometimes a lot of these coaches, if they have that uncomfortable conversation, they're losing kids into the portal because those kids feel like, oh, coach doesn't believe in me. I got to go somewhere else where somebody does. How are you able to make sure that you did that with your quote unquote top player in the program?
I think that's my responsibility. I think my responsibility is to challenge our players to be their best. And if I'm willing to let somebody not be their best or let them get away with things, I'm cheating them. And at the end of the day, I think our guys know that I care about them. I think they know I want what's best for them. I think they know I'm going to go to bat for them and I'm going to have their back for them. So when I give them honesty, I think they know it's coming from a good place. It's not coming from a bad place. It's coming from a man. Maybe he's right. Maybe he believes this. And I think so for me, it's the relationships I try to build with my guys that allow me to be honest and to say things that maybe other coaches won't say to your guys because you're scared of the reaction. I truly think it's the relationship I try to build and hopefully the trust they have with me that I do want what's best for them. Like I want to see them succeed.
Hey, coach, I've said this a lot, and maybe not necessarily like right in front of you, but this is something that I do want to bring up with you here. I've said this a lot. I've been in a lot of buildings, a lot of locker rooms, a lot of places. But ASU, and I'm very, very proud to say this, coach, you literally with your own two hands, when you first got here, were ripping things out, putting things in, making sure that things were done a certain way. You've been to the Oregons, the Florida States, the story programs, the programs that have all the money in the world. You come to ASU, and part of the cleanup process, you are doing literally the manual labor yourself. And I really feel like that sets the tone for how the rest of the coaching staff coaches. Coach, is that what you were trying to do when you were doing all that?
To be honest, no. I just try to fix problems. I see a problem. Something needs to move. I'm going to move it. Like now I'm not the strongest dude. So if I can't move it, I got to get somebody else to help me. Right. But it's no, like nothing's above me. Nothing's beneath me. It's just a task needs to be done. Let's get it accomplished. And if that's like when we first got there, it was the storage room was the room off of our locker room, which is the players lounge. It's just a storage room. It was like, well, this isn't a storage room. So guess what? We moved everything around and we made it back to a players lounge because it shouldn't be a storage room, right? So it's just, I think taking matters into your own hands. Nothing's above you. Nothing's beneath you. It's just do what's necessary to help your guys and to be successful.
All right, listen, take care of a problem. You see something you want to fix. No secret. You got a great Cali pipeline, a great Texas pipeline. Those things are working. We need that quote unquote Arizona pipeline. I think you've done well recruiting in the state, given the circumstances and situations. You come up with this super unique concept over here. This golden ticket that I think has been absolutely phenomenal in terms of like the traction that it is getting online. how'd you come up with this concept? Are you just like a Willy Wonka fan? Like, what was it behind this quote unquote golden ticket? What's the real story?
So, we're sitting there, our entire staff is just filled with Arizona people, right? And that was by design.
Yeah.
One was to recruit the state. Two was the design to make people want to stay here and to create consistency in our coaching staff, and which we had. And we couldn't get over this hump with the Arizona kids. We've recruited 4 classes and we've signed really good players here, but it hasn't been to I want to be the best. Like I want to sign the best players over and over again. Like it's competitive to me. Like it bothers me that I have failed here, right? And I don't know why, but I know this: doing the same thing again that every staff has done for 20 years is not the answer. So the
Okay.
answer is, okay, maybe this method of we throw out 25, we make 25 people special. Maybe that's not right. Maybe we make 6 people special. Maybe we make it unique and a challenge to get something from Arizona State. And that was the whole vision was, man, this is rare. Man, this is special. Other people are going to be pissed off of, oh, they missed on this guy. They should have given one to this guy. They should have given one to that guy. How did they not give one to this guy? That's what I want. I want people to not like what we're doing. I want people to create chaos over why not more? Why not him? Why not that? That's perfect because all that does is make it more valuable for the people we gave it to. All
Okay.
that does is make it more special. So the whole goal was to make it special to come to Arizona State. And I take a lot of pride in Arizona State. Just like you, I'm an alumni from here. Like, I want to see this place succeed. I want to see guys that are from here come here and play on Saturdays. Like, I take pride in that. So I'm just trying to make it special. I'm trying to make it something that people are like, dang, I get to do. And the only way to do that is to actually make it more select. The golden ticket thing, I mean, we're maroon and gold. We can't call it a maroon
Okay.
ticket. Like, you know what I mean? That just sounds weird, right? So the golden ticket was really just by default.
Okay. Hey, did you get the reception and the reaction that you wanted? Do you think that you created the buzz that you wanted? Because listen, on my end of it, I heard a lot of disappointment from a lot of people why they didn't get it, what you were just talking about, and I heard a lot of excitement from the people that did get it. So, do you think that did you get the reaction that you wanted?
I think we did. And I think you said it earlier. The most important thing with it is, we're not done recruiting the state. Like, we're not even close to done in the 27 class recruiting the state. Recruiting is so advanced now. You're a year and a half away on these guys. And in the past, 27s wouldn't even be starting to get recruited 10 years ago. But now they're up. And with that becomes a lot of fake. With that becomes a lot of people who just disappear from your recruitment and then up here and then disappear and then up here. And the one thing I don't want to do is it's always harder to recruit your state than it is outside your state. Why? Because, the outhouse is next to the living room when you recruit your own state. That's the nature of the beast.
Okay.
So you've got to find a way to really just be so transparent with people instead of trying to play the game like the other states play the game and come in here and offer 97 kids at a school that mean absolutely nothing. We're trying to say, if we call you and you're old enough, it's real. It's not
I
fake.
like that.
It's real. We're not playing all these games anymore. We're being honest, transparent, and real. And if I think that you need to grow 2 inches before you have a committable offer, guess what? I'm going to tell you, you need to grow 2 inches. If you get a little bit bigger, you're 16 years old. I think you're going to do it. But you still have to grow. You still have to get bigger. And once you do that, I'm going to call you up and you're going to be the first person I want to be a Sun Devil. But I'm not going to tell you you can be a Sun Devil before you check the boxes of what we actually want for you to be a Sun Devil. All that is using your own emotion against you in recruiting. It's manipulating 16 and 15-year-olds. I was there first. What does that mean? You gave this fake thing first? Is that real? No. Our guys in this state are going to know what's real. They're going to know what's fake. They're going to know where they stand. Just like if you come to Arizona State, you're going to know the exact same thing. And that honesty and transparency is what I hope people respect about our program is it's not fake. It's going to be real. If I tell you you're good enough to play here, I believe it. Because I probably told you 6 months ago, I don't know if you're good enough to play here yet. So you better believe me when I say you are now. Because it's real. It's not fake.
Okay, and that's coming from the top guy. Listen, I am curious. The game has changed so much. The NIL stuff, the transfer portal stuff. But I do know that rosters had to be cut down. You had to find your 105. No more walk-ons and things like that. Like, how difficult was that process for you and your staff trying to figure out, who you were going to keep?
Yeah, it's horrible. No, it was atrocious. I absolutely hated every minute of it. I mean, very, very difficult, and it absolutely sucked. I'm glad I only have to do it once because that's the part that I absolutely hated.
Man, I can't imagine how tough that was because I know that those walk-ons, they mean so much to the program, and I know that you wish that you could keep all those guys around in some capacity. But several of those players that you did decide to keep, local guys that you extend their dream, that had to feel good for you being a local guy yourself, making sure that took care of some of your own. Yeah,
100%. And I think what people forget about is like we've got a bunch of guys that were local that we don't advertise going on scholarship, like other places do. We don't make video. Like sometimes they
you
will,
don't
but
chase the cloud.
for the most part, I go up to somebody in a hallway. Hey, you're on scholarship, man. Congratulations. And there's multiple guys from the state of Arizona that we told that to. And that was awesome. And the purpose for that is I'm not trying to create a publicity stunt around something that changes somebody's life. I'm just trying to change their life. I don't need people to say, "Oh, what a great guy he is." No, they've earned it. It's not a publicity stunt. It was the right to be on scholarship that some of these guys earned. And there were multiple in-state guys that earned that this cycle.
Hey, look, transitioning a little bit, Coach Dillingham hanging out with your boy now. I know you've been asked this question a million times. What are you going to do without Cam Scatterboo? So I don't want to ask you that question. What I do want to ask you, Coach, is you have one of the best running back coaches in the country, if not the best, and I believe that. And you made a point of it to keep him when you got hired. I feel like you knew. I feel like you knew what you had here. This running back room looks absolutely insane. Like Coach Aguano's not going to lose a step. How confident are you that, look, you may not get another quote-unquote Cam Scatterboo, but you might be getting the best of Raleek or Kanye or one of these other guys. Like, how you got to be so confident in that.
Oh, yeah. Like Kyson, Raleek, both those guys who were on our team last year. I mean, both those guys are in the best shape of their life by far. Adding Kanye to the mix is phenomenal. And then we got some young bucks who are pushing for it. But, we call them SIP. So SIP and Leak are just two guys that are returning that have just had such phenomenal off seasons. I mean, Raleek's 197 pounds. And when people think of Raleek Brown, they don't think about a 200-pound back. They think about a scat back. He's a 200-pound, 195-pound back. SIP, you think about the guy who ran super fast in the 100 in high school. You think about speed. He's the strongest he's ever been. He's almost 210 pounds right now running at that speed. So I couldn't be more fired up about that room. I couldn't be more excited about, Coach Aguano and the development he's had with those guys. So I'm just excited to see him flourish.
Who should we expect to really take the reins of this team on the field? Heisman Trophy candidate Sam Levitt, one of the best wide receivers in the country, Jordan Tyson, maybe one of these backs that we just talked about. Who should we be expecting to really pop off and show out and really take charge?
Man, I think anytime you ask for one person in these questions, I definitely think you have to say the quarterback. He's the guy who has the ball all the time. Obviously, a Heisman Trophy candidate. I think I wouldn't trade him for anybody in the country at that position. So I couldn't be more excited about him. But I think we have a lot of guys, as we alluded to, that could make it happen. So how about that? You want to come up here? No, you want to come up here, buddy?
Oh man, hey, Coach. No. Hold on, Coach. Hey, keep him around because listen.
One thing I did want to
ask is, look, Father's Day was on Sunday. I know you are one, and I know you have one. How are you able to juggle the time on Father's Day and deal with all the golden ticket madness and everything that's ASU?
Yeah, so I was just up at midnight to 1 a.m. Doing that, fell asleep, woke up to him running in the room at 6 a.m. and let's rock, baby.
Yeah, you went to brunch. You went to brunch somewhere, hang out with the family. Did you
Exactly.
see
Went to
your dad?
brunch. Hung out in the pool for a little bit that night, and he would hit the beach ball with the water gun, and then swim to the other side the pool, and then swim back like he's running the bases. So it was fun. It was a great Father's Day.
I love that. Listen, before I let you go, Coach, one thing I do want to ask you. I was fortunate enough to have my guy Cannon Siegel on the show a couple of weeks ago, almost a month ago, talking about camps and sevens and all things ASU and stuff like that. Do you when you see him, do you kind of feel like you're looking in the mirror-ish of a younger Dillingham, maybe because he's so young? His career was also cut short by injury. He's a Scottsdale kid, like. Maybe not exactly, but a little bit. Like, do you see a lot of yourself in him and his grind and all that?
Yeah, we have a lot of similar, history up to this point where I was out with his age. He's actually ahead of me in terms of getting into college. He's a year or two ahead of me. So, I think he's got a really bright future. The dude works his butt off. He's super, super intelligent. I'm just glad he's a part of our staff. That's another local dude. T's another local guy. Stephen Miller's in the strength room. Like DJ Foster works for us. We're trying to show that we're going to take care of the people that come here from this city, and we're going to try to take care of, people from here. And that's the only way I know how to do it is just show it. And so I'm fired up for him. I'm fired up for his future. He just got promoted this last cycle because of how much work he's done. So he's just hopefully going to continue to get promoted and continue to do a great job.
And hopefully we keep him around. Before I let you go, Coach, the last question. We talked about some offense. Got to show some love to the defense. You got so many guys coming back. You already said that. Do you expect this defense to get a little bit more complex and complicated, things like that, a little bit more chaos created because of all the experience coming back?
100%. We're doing a little bit more on defense than we did last year with all the newcomers. So this is year 3/2 in the system with all the guys that we joined last year. So we're going to be able to get into different fronts. We're going to be able to create different pressure packages. And then on top of that, we're bigger, stronger. Like these guys that came back again, they should not be the same player they were last year. If they're the same player they were last year, I failed them. We failed them as a staff. They should be better players. They should be bigger. They should be stronger. They should be faster. They should know the system more, which allows us to do more, which allows them to play at a higher rate. So I think for us, I take a lot of pride in looking at a Clayton Smith and a Prince Dorba. Clayton's gained almost 20 pounds since this time last year, and he runs a mile and a half faster than he did last year. Prince Dorba, 15 pounds, a mile per hour faster. Miles Rouser, a mile and a half faster. Keith Abney, a mile and a half faster. Our linebackers are. I take a lot of pride in looking at their development and saying, did these guys get better? Because if they didn't, why are they here? And I can say with a lot of confidence, they've gotten better coming back this last year.
Hey, Coach, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to come hang out with your boy. This is the second time. This is the second time you officially jumped on. You did it right when you got the job, and you're doing it now, coming off the Big 12 championship, and we hope you run that thing back. Before I let you go, it's obviously Forks Up forever, right?
Forks up, baby. Anything you need, let me know.
Hey, you know the deal. Man, cool opportunity to get the chance to talk to the most important man in football here in the state of Arizona. But I've got another guy that I'm going to bring on. I got to talk to him. Been a minute. I think it's been about like 2 months, but I can't wait. A golden ticket recipient, if you will. The best football playing athlete in the 2027 class in the state of Arizona. It's only Jones from Chandler. Hang out with your boy. Y'all know what's coming up. Jai Jones, what up?
Chili, what's going on?
Jai got hands, y'all know. Hey, talk to me, man. One thing I do want to know is I know how close you and your pops are. How was Father's Day? What did you guys do? What did the Jones boys do for Father's Day?
Well, first, thank you for having me on. Of course, like this is a great opportunity. It's always great, Thank you, I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you know the vibes.
But
You know the
Father's
vibes.
Day, I was actually at San Diego State 7-on-7 tournament.
Getting that work.
Yeah, that night before I was on the phone with my dad. Before I went to sleep. We just have a good conversation. I was thanking him before the big time. Um, and then that room check hit. Went to sleep. I actually missed the 12 a.m. mark. I missed the 12 a.m. mark. But first thing I did when I woke up was I called my dad, and I told him my phone's blown up. I thanked him, wished him a happy Father's Day, and everything like that. I wish he was there with me when that moment came. But but yeah, that's how it went. Asked him what he was gonna do with my little siblings and things like that. They had a blast. They had a fun day. But
All right, but you took care of business over there at San Diego State. But most importantly, this is something that I want to talk about. How cool was it? Obviously, this golden ticket here. Much appreciated, Kenny Dillingham. I just had Coach Dillingham on. He talked about how important it was, making sure that the top players in the state knew how appreciated they were. Jai, talk to me about this in this moment, because it is different. Like, this is so different than anything that Arizona State University football has done in the past.
Man, this is a blessing. This is an amazing opportunity. I'm one of the first people to ever get a golden ticket. Ever.
You're actually number one. I don't know if you know.
I was one out of six.
Yours is number one. I'm not saying that they're playing favorites, but I am saying that the top 2027 football playing athlete in the state of Arizona got 1 of 6. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, I was number one to get that golden ticket, man. It was a blessing. Man, I was so happy. I was so excited. But with being a competitor and being a big time guy, it was expected. I would have hoped that I would have got one, especially from my hometown and things like that.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of competing, I love that about you. So much so that you've decided, hey, playing wide receiver is not enough for me. I don't want to just catch passes on the best defensive back out there. I also want to shut down who's perceived to be the best wide receiver out there. You want to go 2 ways. You've been doing that all camp season, all 7 season, taking on that responsibility, and you're going to do that in the fall. What has that been like for you, having to learn new playbooks, having to new movements, all that stuff?
That's the easy part. The learning piece has always been the easy part. But I'm a big time competitor when it comes to football, athletics, classroom, track. I don't camps. I don't duck any of that.
I know.
I'm the first one to step up every time. So when Coach gave me the opportunity, he was like, you have the opportunity to do it. Because I asked him, and I was like, Coach, am I able to go both ways this season? Like for real, like this is what I can do for real. I've been doing it since I was little. Like I've been studying it. I've always trained it, even though I didn't get to play much of it last season. But yeah, he was like, of course, you're in shape. You're one of the most in shape guys we got on the team. There's no way you shouldn't be able to go both ways.
Yeah. Hey, look, you brought it up. I love Coach Garrettson, but I do feel like you were underutilized last year. New coaching regime. Last time I talked to you, we did not know who the coach was going to be. Now we know it is Coach Wisdom. You kind of gave some things about what you wanted in the new coach, and I feel like you got all those things. Is that in fact, did you get everything that you kind of were asking for and wanted in Coach Wisdom? It seems like so.
Oh yeah, man. Coach Wiz just came in. He's changed everything. And he, like the same way you talked about Dillingham moving stuff by hand. The first thing Coach Wiz did was come and move our weight room by hand himself. And that was crazy. Wiz isn't big at all. Wiz is actually a really, really little coach. Like he came in, he moved that weight room around himself. And we walked in the next day and we were like, wow, like who did this? And he was like, I did it. And he was like, we got a culture change. But yeah, overall, man, the team building, the relationships, the connections between us and coach, everything, like that was so big for us in this team for this season. And he came in, he capitalized on it immediately.
Hey, this offense is really starting to look crazy. You, Mental, at tight end, Spear on the offensive line. Looks like you've got a new anchor on the offensive line, and things are really starting to work out. I know some pieces have left, but it's kind of been like, hey, look, if y'all didn't want to be here, it's all good. Like, we got Jai Jones over here going both ways, taking care of business. We got Will Menzel collecting these offers like Chandler quarterback should. Talk to me about like the new wave of the Chandler athletes out there.
Man, like even like going back to Wiz, he brought us so much more connected. Like I feel like as an offense, we were a little disconnected last season. There was a lot of non-conversations that weren't being had. There was a lot of conversations that were being had that should have been had to most of the players. Man, everything is public, like on the spot, and it brought us so much closer and so much together. Like we're able to go out there and score anytime we feel like it. That's how it feels, anytime we feel like it. And go ahead.
When I watch you on the sevens field, even with all the stars that you play with, and it's usually like an all-star team, Doughboys, whoever you play with, it's usually an all-star team. You're moving a lot of pieces around. You're very vocal. Are we going to get that same Jai Jones on the field for Chandler this season? Are you going to be the same vocal leader that I've seen this offseason on the seventh circuit?
Yeah, that's also came with me. Growing up, becoming a junior, I feel like as a freshman, I was a little quiet. I was more of a leader by example. I didn't want to come in and lose relationship, things like that. I was like, I'm gonna play my role and I'm gonna be a role player guy and I'm gonna do what I can for my team and lead by example. And that's kind of how it was last season, having to sit 5 games. But this season is totally different. I'm coming in, I'm being vocal, moving pieces, I'm helping out coach, I'm spending the extra time, even on and off the field with the guys, things like that, after practice, just hanging out, being that leader. And that's really big for me this season, especially with going into college the season after my senior season and things like that.
Yeah, hey, look, you came in your freshman year, one of the top players in the state, target on your chest, right? You transfer, you go to Chandler, target on your chest again because he's a transfer. Now, first golden ticket, bigger target on your chest. How do you keep like pushing through with all these targets that does that help you realize like, hey, I'm really the man, forget what everybody else says, I'm really that guy?
I mean, like you said it, I've said it, I'm a competitor. That's big for me.
So you like it like that?
Yeah, that's how I like it. But man, I gotta keep it real. The guys out here aren't my competition. It's the guys that go play in Florida, that play in Texas, that play in North Carolina, that have something to lose and have things to work for. And that's right down my alley, So that's my competition. That's why I brush all that off and I keep competing.
Hey, it's only bulletin board material if you line it up across from Jai, right? So it is what it is. Hey, Jai, I cannot wait. Chandler officially in Flight Club, so I'm gonna get to see you handle that business on the main stage on Saturday versus all the big dogs. I know Desert Edge is gonna be out there bashing. Everybody can get it, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely. We were so as a team and as a group. This is all we've been talking about, Chili Flight Club. We've been so ready because we haven't been in it yet. I didn't get to be in it freshman year. Coach took us out of it. Sophomore year, coach didn't want us in it. This year, though, Wiz
Jai Jones show.
It's
Jai Jones show. Watch out.
It's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be a movie for sure.
Bringing that golden ticket, gonna try to trade that thing in for a championship belt, and then the rest. All right, hey, Jai, I really appreciate you hanging out. I definitely got to get you on the show again. We're gonna make this a regular thing. You know the deal, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right, hey, you keep doing your thing. I will see you Saturday, June 28th in Maricopa. Gonna be a party, all right?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Appreciate you, Chili.
All right, I see that FSP. Don't think I don't see that FSP.
Oh, go FSP.
Okay, all right. Hey, shout out to Coach Ford. I see you. All right, Jai, I'm gonna catch up with you. Hey, tell your pops I said hello. All right?
Most definitely.
All right, Arizona Legend was with that Desert Vista squad. Don't think I don't.
Yeah, Coach Tay. Do they homework on Coach Tay, man?
Hey, I know this stuff. I know this stuff. All right,
Jai,
I'm gonna catch up with you down the line.
Their homework on Arizona Legend Coach Tay.
Facts. All right, I'm gonna catch up with you down the line. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take care. Sheesh, fully loaded show, and it doesn't really stop there. My man Jai Jones hanging out, Coach Dillingham hanging out. So I got a golden ticket guy, the guy that created the golden ticket. I need to get another guy that we can talk about the summary of this whole golden ticket madness. So I'm going to bring on my guy, the one and only straight from Devil's Digest, Ho Rubino. So hang out with your guy. About 2 seconds, your boy Ho is going to jump on the show. Digest, the originator, the leader in anything Sun Devils content, sports related, really, right? I mean, DevilsDigest.com, the home of sideline sightings. Don't forget the home of sideline sightings. Man, talk to me about this golden ticket thing. This thing was absolute madness.
Yeah, and I think that when he had Kenny early on, he really just hit on all the important notes of what this golden ticket is all about. It's transparency and it's honesty, and it's something that not only helps him recruiting, also helps him retain a great deal of his players, helps him retain his entire coaching staff. So when he just can go ahead and look at the 6 top 2027 recruits on the board and say, hey, you guys are special. You guys are getting that golden ticket. If you want to commit today on Father's Day, I'm taking your commitment. This is what the golden ticket is all about. And, the flip side of it, like you said, some players are disappointed that, did not get the golden ticket. Some players are disappointed that even did not get the offer. But Kenny Dillingham and his staff is transparent with those recruits. And that's how you improve recruiting. That's how you make sure that relationships do last, not now, but even 2-3 years down the road. I mean, how many local players have you seen already in Kenny Dillingham's tenure that did come back to ASU through the transfer portal? And I think that number is going to grow and grow. So even if they weren't able to land, let's say some 2026 guys, they can be 2 years from now playing in Mount America Stadium. So just the whole approach of Kenny Dillingham is something that makes a lot of sense. You know what it is, Chili, about NIL and transfer portal. There's, the BS that happened before those things were even in existence as kind of like mushroomed right now. And this is why this is a time and era of college football where honesty is more important than ever. And Kenny Dillingham and his staff do exemplify it. And in only his second year in Tempe, he was greatly rewarded for that approach.
Hey, Kenny brought this up. Guys like T, like Trenton Bourget, staying home and coaching, and Kenneth Siegel. Aside from the record and stuff like that, aside from the Big 12 championship, and I know that the numbers aren't big, but do you kind of feel like compared to other staffs, Coach Dillingham is winning in the Valley in recruiting? Because I feel like the answer is yes.
I think that is a burden of proof that still lies out there. Like I said, a lot of local players did come back to the Valley and played for ASU through the transfer portal. So I think in that sense, yes, he has done a good job in that. But I think we have to wait until the 2027 recruiting class, obviously with all the efforts that you put in the golden ticket. If ASU is able to land just 3 of those 6 golden ticket recipients, that is quite the accomplishment right there. And Kenny Dillingham said it himself, look, the golden ticket doesn't mean that we're done recruiting the state for the 2027. We're now all about 28 and 29. We are definitely going to keep on recruiting players from that class and future classes from the state. So I think you need to really see the success rate with the in-state kids in the 2027 class, because the 26 class is pretty much all but done, to see if that success is going to continue. But the bottom line is that you want to get the best players wherever they are. And one thing, and I've said that ad nauseum, you cannot say anything about the the talent evaluation of this ASU staff. I can sit here and talk about it for 3 hours, and I'm probably still not going to do it justice. Think about the high school players, not so many of the junior college players, because there's not too many of those, but transfer portal players. How many whiffs have there been compared to bullseyes? The ratio is crazy, and crazy in a good way, obviously. Agreed. So when it comes to talent evaluation, you do trust the staff, whether it's a local offer, whether it's an out-of-state offer, because to really turn around a program on a dime, you need to be an elite talent evaluator, and obviously player developer as well. And those are 2 traits that I think this coaching staff has in spades.
Hey, real quick, I do want to talk about some of the recruiting that's been done. The transfer class, this 2025 transfer class. What are your thoughts on them? We got some guys over here, guys like the kid that came over from Washington State, defensive lineman Rashad McKenzie. We got the Alabama wide receiver Jared Hamilton, who was a 4-star, in high school. another kid that was a 4-star in high school, the Kentucky tight end, Kamani Anderson, the running back, Kanye Udo from Army, that everybody seems to love so much. What are your thoughts overall? I just mentioned a few guys. Maybe there's some other guys that you feel like we should talk about a little bit more. What are your thoughts on this transfer class?
Yeah, I mean, I think on offense, you definitely hit the major notes with Jaron Hamilton, the wide receiver, and with Kanyudo, the running back. On offense, you mainly look at skilled players, and you want them really to hit the ground running. And I think in spring practice, they showed a lot of positives, a lot of things to get excited about. So I think that definitely has been definitely showed that they did very well in that arena. I think to me the biggest surprise transfer on offense is Kamari Anderson, the tight end from Kentucky. Again, you talk about talent evaluation. A guy like Jason Mons sees a guy like Anderson that did close to nothing as a tight end, not because Anderson is an inferior player, but just because the offensive system at Kentucky is very different than ASU. It doesn't really highlight the tight end and what skills they may or may not have. So to bring that guy over here to Tempe and to create right now a monster tight end room with Shaman Meteor, a proven starter from last year, with AJ Ia, one of the best recruits in the state of California, period. You probably know this, Chili. He was the MVP of the Trinity League. The Trinity League is basically the gold standard, no pun intended, of high school football in California. And Jason Mons
in the country.
Well, definitely California, but some would argue in the country too. And he won MVP of that league. And Jason Mons told me, it said straight up, I don't know if a tight end ever even won that award, the MVP award in the Trinity League. So that just tells you what kind of talent you're getting. So for the older ASU fans out there, think about the Miller brothers and Jamal Lewis. I mean, you can have that type of a tight end group. And actually, I bumped into Zach Miller, the great ASU tight end, and he said he liked a lot from what he saw for Shaman Meteor last year. And I said, hey, if you like what you saw from Meteor last year, wait now when you see Anderson and Ia forming a very, very talented tight end group. I think you're going to like that group even more. So, on defense, just because there's so many established pieces coming back, I don't know if the transfers have really able to make their mark so far. Maybe that's something we see more in fall camp. But again, I think that the rate of success with the transfers that they're landing is very high. So don't be surprised if you see a lot of names that, maybe made some noise in spring or maybe going to make more noise in fall camp, really be important players for the Sun Devils in 2025.
Okay. Now, looking to the future, this 2026 recruiting class, your thoughts so far? Just some guys that I want to point out. Jake Betty, absolutely killing it over there at Elite 11 right now. Zeth Thews, super talented safety from the best team in the state, Liberty. Another kid from the state, edge rusher, Sine Tenge from Westwood, an absolute dog. And then this wide receiver from Dripping Springs in Texas. I absolutely love him. Cooper Reed is a fantastic athlete, long, lank man. He can do some things. And then going back to Coach Mons' room, Hayden Bircher is an absolute monster, if you will, tight end from the state of California. Talking about maybe some other kids in this class that stand out to you.
Well, first of all, you definitely have to give respect to quarterback Jake Fitty from El Paso, Texas, who, as we speak right now, is competing in the Elite 11. So for ASU to have a representative in the most prestigious high school quarterback showcase in the nation, that really tells you a lot. Again, we're talking about talent evaluation, and it's not just ASU coaches thinking that player X or player Y is really good as a 2026 commit. Now you got national recognition like Elite 11. That really makes an impression, right there. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of players, that you mentioned already, definitely players that I think are going to be key for the Sun Devils really build, that foundation. It's a team that is losing maybe a lot of seniors on defense, but on offense, still has some youth over there, some players with multiple years of eligibility. this is a 2026 class, Chile, as you know, that's been ranked consistently in the top 20 for several weeks. So I think, again, that really does say a lot, not only how the ASU coaches are perceiving this class, but really how this class is perceived nationwide. That really does tell you a lot. I mean, I think all but one Texas recruit is outside of the top 100 in the state. So you have 7 top 100 players in Texas that are commits to ASU. I mean, that is more than some Texas schools, some more than some Big 12 schools out there, which Texas is their backyard, obviously, or just one state over. So you really just can't say enough of how well this staff has done, not only in the transfer portal, but also in the recruiting class. Again, I think just the numbers, the rankings, you have a quarterback in the Elite 11, all that really speaks for itself.
When was the last time ASU had an Elite 11 finalist committed at quarterback? Was it Brady White?
Man, you really
in the finals. In the finals.
Manny Wilkins was there for sure. I'm trying to think of somebody. I'm not sure if Jenny Daniels was or wasn't. Manny Wilkins was there for sure.
Dang, maybe Jenny Daniels was. I've seen a wait.
Yeah, but Manny Wilkins was there for sure.
Was he? Okay. Well, I thought Manny Wilkins would have been a great safety. But anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. Your thoughts on the future of the Sun Devils, the current state of Sun Devil football and all that. What are you thinking? I know that a lot of people are kind of still not convinced, and they feel like last year was lightning in a bottle. They can't do it again.
Look, I mean, they have a lot of returning talent on both sides of the ball, especially on defense. I mean, really, the only hole that you have to plug is Nickelback and Shamari Simmons, which was, off the charts good for ASU. But otherwise, I mean, not only starters, I mean, pretty much the entire 2 deep are returning players and are, in many cases, returning proven players. So I think, if you want to start with the defense, I mean, this defense should go down as one of the best defenses we've seen this century. And Todd Graham, back in the day, he definitely has. Yeah, this century. I mean, and Todd Graham back in the day, I know he had some really great the defenses, headed by Will Sutton, obviously, and other players. But I really think this defense, and Kenny Dillingham alluded to that, it's pretty much year 3 in the system for a lot of these players. So if they get more complex, more creative, really it just shows you that the sky's the limit for this defense. I mean, just look at the postseason. I mean, third quarter against Iowa State in the Big 12 championship game. Not 1, not 2, but 3 turnovers in the third quarter alone. And all those turnovers turned into touchdown. Game is over before the fourth quarter even starts. You look at Texas in the Peach Bowl. And the job that this defense did in the second half, and obviously you give a lot of credit, for Sam Levin and Cam Scadaboo, how they engineered the offense in the second half. But the defense was just one stop after another. So, this defense is plenty loaded. And I know just human nature, football, you just look at offense, don't pay that much attention to defense. But this might be the season where the defense, did carry the ASU team as a whole in some occasions last year, but I think might even be asked to do that a little more. On offense, it's funny because everybody thinks, okay, ASU right now is going to be the hunted and not the hunter like they were last year. And, obviously there's not going to be disrespect. I mean, when that media poll comes out among the Big 12, ASU is going to be nowhere near 16th and last place. But I think if you're looking kind of a new chip on the shoulder to generate, just like you asked Kenny Dillingham, like jokingly, who's going to play Scadaboo? I mean, how many times has Kenny Dillingham already heard that question? How many times is he going to hear it on media day on July 8th? So I think that's going to be something that the offense is really going to, make it a point to prove. And if it's going to be running back by committee, if it's going to be more emphasis in the passing game than it was last year, because look, Sam Levin and Jordan Tyson are only a year older, a year better than last year. And I think the weapons that Sam Levin has right now, a deeper wide receiver group. We already talked about the tight end group. I think you can see an offense that is not really going to change its DNA that much, but I think you're going to see enough tweaks, enough changes, really just to throw the opponents off. I happened to talk to a Texas Tech insider today, and he said, look, there's no reason not to pick ASU in the Big 12 media preseason poll as the number one team, because they have earned it with all the returning talent that they have. And, spoiler alert, that's going to be my pick in that poll.
Not two. Mountain America Stadium, Frank Cush Field. Is it going to be packed house rocking? Are we going to get the sellouts this year? I feel like the vibe, the Valley's been activated officially. Do you think that we're going to be getting the sellouts that the kids, the athletes, the coaches should expect?
Look, the nice thing about a bandwagon town, and Kenny Dillingham said it many times, and I agree. For somebody who lived here for over 30 years, yes, it is. It is a bandwagon town. So what? If you win, then you love it. That it is a bandwagon town. So yes, I do expect to have higher attendance. I think Graham Rossini, Arizona State's athletic director, said a few weeks ago that they already have 6,000 more season ticket holders than they had last year. We saw those games against Kansas, against BYU. That stadium was rocking. I mean, that's obviously stadium rock. I would say, since the Todd Graham years. When they played Notre Dame, for example, or in 2019 when they played Oregon. So I think
but those were all Notre Dame fans and all Oregon fans.
Hey man, those were two of the marquee games this century for the Sun Devils. Sorry, just happened to be Notre Dame and Oregon.
But this year it's going to be all ASU fans. We are going to get sellouts. We're going to get sellouts. True or false?
No, I think you'll see higher attendance in general. Yes. Are you going to see some sellouts? Yes. Maybe the sellouts are more towards the latter half of the year. Like, okay, ASU's about to cooler. ASU's about to repeat, possibly as Big 12 champions. I mean, maybe that's because the juice is flowing more. But I really think there's a lot of intriguing games on that home schedule. And don't forget, Chili, here's a team that came off an undefeated 6-0 home record. This year, did it get to play 7 games at home, not 6.
Hey, listen, I don't care if the butts are in the seats. As long as the tickets are sold, I'll take it. Make your contribution to the ASU Sun Devil football program. Buy the ticket. If you don't show up and you want to watch from the comfort of your home and it's air conditioned and all that stuff, I'm cool with it. Just make sure you buy the ticket so we can announce a sellout. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's kind of like a double-edged sword because I mean, sure, you can look at the bottom line in terms of a financial bottom line. Yeah, hey, I sold the ticket. This guy and that guy, didn't want to come because this, that, and the other. Okay, fine, but I still. Made the revenue. I still, making more money now than I did this time last year. But look, man, when you have butts in the seats, it obviously helps recruiting. Obviously, it helps, push this team again. I mean, and I talk about Kansas and BYU, Chili, not only because of the great atmosphere that Mountain America Stadium had those afternoons, but those were close games. I mean, anybody, watch the replay, look at the box score. Without a sold out stadium or a near sellout in those 2 games, I don't know if ASU win those games. I mean, those games were all about grit, were all about perseverance. And I think while those are traits that are hard to demonstrate, I think they're easier to demonstrate when you have a sold out stadium or a very, very near sellout stadium. So I think that butts in the seats ultimately is really what you want to achieve. So have the best of both worlds, a fatter, the revenue stream, but also having just a more boisterous crowd.
Hey, last thing before I let you go, Hode. One thing I do want to talk about, I feel like Coach Dillingham isn't given enough credit for this. I feel like it's gotten kind of quiet about this, but given all his success early. His ability to navigate the whole NIL situation, a lot of people weren't really buying into it early on, but I feel like he's been able to do it his way and has still been very, very successful, obviously, because of record. What are your thoughts, and can we sustain this and expect this to continue?
You're talking about the transfer portal in specific, right?
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think what really helped Kenny Dillingham is that when he was hired by ASU, there were pretty much no limits on how many players you could have added from the transfer portal. And Kenny Dillingham, went on record and said that helped make the turnaround, that much quicker. And again, it wasn't just all quantity; it was also quality. I mean, I think in the first two transfer portal classes, Kenny Dillingham brought in just about 60 players combined in those 2 years. But that was needed because, no disrespect to the players that, left the program after Kenny's first or second year, but you really had to tear this thing down to build it out. And the way he built it up through the transfer portal, again, being able to bring, pretty much busloads of players in his first 2 years, that really, really helped a lot. But Kenny Dillingham also has been very transparent. And, Kenny Dillingham is all about transparency, that he wants those transfer classes to get smaller and smaller because you did a good job with your recruiting classes, mostly high school players, peppered in with some junior college players, that you don't need to have the massive transfer portal classes that you had in years past. I think, without looking at the numbers, this transfer class in size is probably half of what it was just this time last year. So that just shows you that you're landing good players, and the transfers that came in, to go back to your earlier point, they're staying here because they know what this culture is all about. They see these coaches staying on year after year after year. So you just keep on building a foundation, keep on building the foundation, and you're basically giving players in the program already, even in this crazy NIL world, very, very little reason to transfer out.
All right. Hey, listen, Hode, getting back to this golden ticket thing, you were able to catch up with a bunch of these kids and talk to them and put an article together, .com, shameless plug. Was there anything that you learned through the process of talking to some of those kids about, how cool this recruiting tactic was?
Yeah, I think they definitely felt appreciated. They definitely felt honored. They already got the offer obviously before June 15th. I mean, it wasn't like breaking news that somebody got an offer with a golden ticket. That really wasn't it. For the folks out there that don't know, basically June 15th was the first day where a coach can initiate contact with a 2027 recruit. Up until that date, basically the recruits had to be the ones initiating contact with the ASU coach or any coach out there in the country for that matter. So when you now have a coach calling you on his own initiative, and he has the golden ticket, and basically tells you no uncertain terms, if you want to commit right here, right now, and I understand you're a 2027 prospect, but we're going to take a commitment, and that's it. If we're, let's say if you're Kel Snyder, and you're the quarterback that's committing, if we're telling you we're taking one quarterback in the class, that's it. So on June 15, 2025, we are done with recruiting quarterbacks for 2027 because we told you we're taking one quarterback in the class, and you can hold us to it. If you keep on being committed to us all throughout 25, all throughout 26, you sign with us in December of 26, you're probably even enrolling early. In January 2027, we're done recruiting quarterbacks. That's it, because we told you we're taking one quarterback.
So awesome.
You told us you're committing to it. That's it. We're done. And you hold yourself to it, and you hold the player to it. So again, you just can't speak enough about the honesty of the staff and how much it resonates with recruits, how much it resonates with the transfers you're bringing in, how much it resonates with the player retention. I mean, you got 17 starters coming back on both sides of the ball, Chile. 17. I mean, how many teams around the country can even say they have 13, 14 coming back? And I'm talking about the powerhouses out there.
No, you're right. You're right.
So again, it just all comes back to your approach. All comes back to how you handle yourself, especially in the era of college football, where it's so easy to be jaded, easy to be cynical. Look at those players chasing the NIL. Look at those players, no loyalty. They'll go to 5 schools in 5 years. It's done differently at ASU. And that's what allowed Kenny Dillingham, again, to turn this program on a dime. I mean, I have to tell you, what a bad place this program was when Ken Dillingham came. We knew, you and I knew it was going to.
Well, yeah, because your boy. Yeah, because your boy. Because your boy messed the whole thing up. Your boy messed the whole thing up. But hey, listen, Ho, and I don't know if anybody else has paid attention to this, talked about this, gone into the depth and detail of this, but I really want to give some credit. These guys did not miss a beat with the presentation of this. Over here, they have the actual golden ticket, which is a kind of like a baseball card style thing.
Yep.
Inside a PSA certification type of a frame thing, which is how like baseball cards and collector's cards are like graded, and all the information up here at the top. They did not miss a beat with this thing. I think that the presentation of it super cool, and Coach Dillingham prides himself on being hip and all that stuff. So I just think it's an amazing.
And one more thing to that, if you notice, but in the ticket itself, there's actually a silhouette of the player. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh yeah. I saw. Hold on. I got obviously Jai Jones over here. When you look at the players one, you can see the silhouette of the player in there. Let's see if I can bring this thing up real quick. Boom. You can kind of see Jai Jones's face in it. So
yeah. Hey. And by the way, you have to shout out the graphics team for ASU football. I mean, they're
A1.
They're just really, really cutting edge. You and I are on Twitter. We see graphics in this school, that school. I'm telling you, man, ASU is right up there in the upper echelon with every blue blood program out there when it comes to graphics. And that stuff matters to kids. I know you got sometimes the fuddy-duddies out there, too old school. Graphics. What does this matter? What does that matter? Uniforms. Who cares? Guys, recruits eat that up, and you have to be on the cutting edge for that. I mean, if some fans don't like a uniform, that's okay. That's a prerogative. You still should be out there rooting the team that you support. But I mean, current players, recruits, they eat that uniform up. With all different designs and all different graphics when it comes to recruiting. That is so important. The graphic teams at ASU understands the assignment, and that shows.
Hey, I think that ASU is going to get 2 or 3 of these kids that they've given golden tickets to.
That'd be tremendous. That would be tremendous.
And that's a big deal. I know everybody wants to be like, oh, they're going to get 5 or 6, but I really think that they're going to get 2 or 3 of these kids, and those guys are going to be impact players for the program because all these kids are absolutely great. Ben Lowther, Jake Hildebrand, Noah Roberts, Zarek Sidney, Kale Snyder, and then of course Jai Jones. These guys are all like top of the top here in the state of Arizona. So congratulations to all 6 of them. Look, Arizona's a loaded state with tons of talent. Hode, before I let you go, I do want to ask, are you going to be out at Flight Club? I'm going to have 5. I'm going to have 5 out of the 6 golden ticket kids at Flight Club. I definitely know that you want to come out and check that whole thing out. Is it possible? Am I going to get you out at Flight Club to come chop it up with some of these kids?
I do have a standing engagement. I am trying to get out.
Oh man!
So TBD.
Dang.
There's hope. There's hope.
All right. Hey, Hode, I appreciate you hanging out. We got to make this happen a little bit more often. Last time I think was almost like 6 months ago. So during football season, for sure, we're going to be having you on the show a lot more. So Hode, I really appreciate you hanging out and stopping by and talking some Sun Devil football and all the cool stuff that has transpired over the last few days.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Man, loaded show. Flight Club fully coming back. I can't wait. Championship belt right there. I got one of them right there. The other 2 are in Arizona right now, making their way over to one of the sponsors. I really want to show some love to my guy, Adam Beadle, my guy, Squilliam, always showing support, reposting the stream. I had Coach Dillingham on. My guy, Eric Newman, out there in Wisconsin. I know he's not going to be able to make it out there, but Flight Club is going down in Maricopa. The boys, 32 teams. It's going to be absolute madness. And then obviously the girls, I'll have them on the 27th, and I cannot wait. I have a good group of girls, so That's going to be a lot of fun. To answer another question, no respect, I'm sure a troll or whatever, but what happens if they get 0? I'm sure that this is in response to me saying that ASU will probably get 2 or 3 of these golden ticket guys. What happens if they get 0? If they get 0, they get 0, and they go back to their drawing board and try to figure out a new way to recruit the state and make these guys feel special and stuff like that. But I don't see that happening. I think that we're going to get 2 or 3 of these guys. I always appreciate everybody supporting, showing love. I cannot wait. I'll probably be back on Thursday, maybe Wednesday. I'll definitely come back. I'm definitely coming back tomorrow because there's something that I want to stop by, and I want to talk about this real quick before I go. I want to show love to Ricky Pearsall. He's coming back. He's doing a free camp tomorrow. He's doing a free camp tomorrow at Corona del Sol High School. His high school, former Sun Devil, former Florida Gator, but he was forks up first. Current San Francisco 49er, doing a free camp, which I think is absolutely amazing. An amazing way to give back to the community that, kind of gave him opportunity to showcase his skills, get him into college and, push him forward into the NFL and stuff. So he'll be at Corona del Sol tomorrow running this camp, free camp. No admission for campers. All the details are in there. And I can't wait. He's going to have a good group of coaches. I believe Jalen Strong will be there. This is ages 7 to 15. So ages 7 to 15. So I believe Jalen Strong is going to be there coaching. Coach Frazier from Chandler. Coach Topham from Saguaro. And possibly another guest player from Arizona State will be showing up. Not sure, not guaranteeing that or anything, but this should be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Shout out to my guy, Devin Horn, video guy. And I heard he's putting some crazy stuff together. So make sure that y'all showing love to my guy, Timeout Dev, basketball guy, but jumping on this football scene like crazy. So Ricky Pearsall camp tomorrow, going down at Corona del Sol. Make sure you guys show support. If you got a kid that might be interested, it's an evening camp. I want to say 6 to 8:30ish. So the sun should be going down. It should be getting a little bit cooler. So it should be a lot of fun. Great opportunity to get pictures at the end and things like that. And meet one of the guys that made it from the area. So make sure you guys try to support. Other than that, find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at JustChili, JustChili.tv. Takes you straight to the YouTube link. Subscribe, like, comment on videos. Am I a crazy person for saying that they're going to get 2 or 3 of these golden ticket kids? Is somebody else crazy for saying that they think that ASU is going to win the Big 12? Let us know. I think Hood said that. I think I kind of agreed with it. What can we expect from my man Jai Jones? It's going to be an absolute problem. The best football playing athlete, two-way guy, does it all, both sides of the ball. I didn't mean to make that thing line, but it did. So other than that, look, y'all know the deal. Flight Club, the show is going to be next week, selection show. Forks Up Forever. Y'all know the deal.